I have a good hand this time.
Yeah, twice. Queens?
That's a good
Okay,
hand.
which up?
You have ace king?
Which up?
You're really good
We
with
definitely
those.
chop.
Bro, I had aces. He shipped with the queen 9 and a
You
chop.
called it aces?
No, that one.
Yes, he had aces.
I mean, honestly, you might even scoop.
No, that's me.
You're really good with it.
That's me.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Oh my god.
He's
9-9.
Yeah.
9-9.
Oh my
No, that one's you.
Oh,
One more 9?
Ah!
What?
How do you know? You called it.
All right, so yeah, you saw that pocket queens. I had a pocket queens all in versus 10-9 offsuit. Ran it twice. You guys saw those boards. I've been running pretty bad the last 2 days, just like that. And here's this vlog to tell you more about it. All right, it's 20 minutes before I will get to the Lucky Lady. I'm on my way. So today I'm going to be playing another 2-3 no limit game, $10 bounty. It's going to be a good lineup again, a cool group of guys. This time I got more than 2 hours of sleep. I got 4 hours of sleep. So I think that's better. And I'm going to try to write down some hands. That way I can actually go over more poker hands in more detail. In the last video, I didn't really go into too much detail. But let me know if you guys want to hear more of that or not. Yeah, I worked pretty much up until 6, a little bit after 6 today, 6 p.m. Took a shower, got in the car, and now I'm headed to the poker game. So nonstop. My goal, what I have to do is not tilt again. Today, I feel more tired than I felt yesterday. And yeah, that's the goal. Just don't tilt, chill, have a good time. Yeah, it's a good game. So, and remember poker hands. I'll try to remember some poker hands. By the way, Money Long, 812 Money Long, a Lucky Lady reg. He's famous at the Lucky Lady. He just won a big pot. Literally 5 minutes ago, he told me about it. At the 1-2 game with 8-5 offsuit, the fun hand. So the flop was 7-4-3. He flopped a gut shot. If a 6 comes, he'll make a straight. He'll make the nuts. And there was a flush draw on the board. The turn was a 6. His opponent bet, and Money Long went all in. Pot was $500. And his opponent actually had ace king of spades. They had the nut flush draw. And Money Long held. Hell yeah. Nice hand. All right. So hand number 1, I have 8-2 of hearts, blind versus blind. And the flop is ace high. It's all black. So I think it's all spades. I don't have anything, but I have position. So it goes check, check on the flop. My opponent checks again. I bet the turn. They only call. And the river, I bet an amount like, 2/3 pot. And they call because they flopped the flush with 7 deuce. So I bluffed that away. Not the great start. This next hand, I have jack deuce of clubs in middle position. I raise, it's suited, and it's the bounty game. I believe I have the bounty. And I get 2 callers, so we're multi-way. The flop is ace, king, 10 with 2 clubs. So I flop a flush draw with a gut shot straight draw. I bet, and my opponent raises to 200. I just go all in because he has another 240. So I figure that I have enough equity, and he calls. We run it twice. They have the nuts. They have queen jack, and I miss both boards. So really not off to a great start. Next hand, I have the bounty button, and I have ace 9 of hearts. The straddle's on, so it's 5-10 right now. I make it 30. My opponent to my left makes it 120. Everybody folds. I think he's in early position and he 3-bet me, so he might have something good. But I also thought there's a chance that my hand could hold its own post flop, and he might be aggressive, trying to prevent me from winning the bounty. So I call. The flop is king 9-4 with 1 heart. So I flop middle pair, top kicker with ace 9, and I check it. The pot is 240, and my opponent makes it 100. I don't think I can fold right now, so I just call. The turn is an offsuit 10. I do not get a backdoor flush draw, and now a 10 beats me. So I check. and he very quickly goes all in, and it's an overbet. It's about $700 into the pot of 440, and I do not decide to go for the hero call. I decide that he probably just has it, so I fold. All right, you know what? Fuck these hand histories. I'll summarize it for you. Just so you know, right now in real time today, it is already Friday morning. So I actually played Thursday night, another game that I put together at the Lucky Lady, the 2-3 no limit bounty game. And it was cool because a second table got started. So I don't know, hopefully that game catches on. It's a fun game. So let's go back to Wednesday. All right. So still on Wednesday, we're playing, I'm in for the 1500. I got a double up because I had ace king and someone had ace queen. And finally, I'm in profit, like $500. I have a 2K stack. And there's this guy, he's from Florida. He just showed up out of nowhere. And he was cool for the game. He was bluffing everybody, and if he lost, he would rebuy. And he was just down to play hands, right? So finally, I forgot what the action was. I think that I raised and he 3-bet and I went all in and he called. Or maybe I was in the straddle and he raised, I went all in and he called. The pot was $4,000. I had ace queen and he had ace 9. We ran it once and he hit trip 9s. So now I lost. Yeah, so I rebought and I'm actually like building some momentum. But then these hands just come up where, like, for example, I had ace 5 of hearts. The flop came with a 5 and a flush draw. So I had, a pair and a flush draw. It's really good hand. I can make 3 of a kind. I can make 2 pair. I can make a flush to have, the nut flush. And the way I played it post flop, I just lost money, because I did not hit my draw on the river. And to me, I think my opponents either bluffed me out of the pot or they actually had something. I think they actually had something. But, I was building the pot to the river so that if I hit the nuts, I can get all the money in. But I guess I bricked the draws. And that actually happened twice. A few hands later, I had ace 5 of diamonds. And the flop came with a 5 and 2 diamonds. So I lose. I'm just like bleeding chips. And then finally I have 10-7 of spades. And at this point we're 3-handed, me, Jen, and Chris. And Chris has the bounty button. He's on the button. He raises. And I have 10-7 of spades, but we're short-handed and you just gotta play, I think. So I call, Jen calls. The pot is $360. And we have about, I don't know, 14, 15, we have 15, I have $1,500 behind. So the flop comes 10 high and a flush draw. And that's a pretty good flop. So I check, Jen checks, Chris bets, I raise, and Jen calls. So now I know Jen has something really good. I think the flop was like 10, 5 deuce or something like that. Or 10, 8 deuce. I had a backdoor or straight draw. It was like 10, 8 deuce. No, I remember that. It was 10, 4 deuce. So Jen calls and Chris calls. So it's a big pot. Now the turn is a 5. Offsuit 5. So the flush doesn't come in, but there's a flush draw available. The pot is about, let's see, I raised to 200. So the pot's got to be like almost $800. And I have about 1,200 in my stack. I have a feeling that Chris would call me if he's on a draw. And I want Jen to fold because he might have a better hand than me. So I go all in the 1,200. And Jen calls because he has a set. Chris also calls, so it's a big pot. The river is a 3 with no spade. So the flush draw misses. And any ace makes a straight. Chris had the king high flush draw. Jen had a set of deuces, and I lost with my pair of tens. I was also on the flush draw. So, that one sucked. So I rebought again. And then I had queen jack, and basically same kind of situation. Chris was on the bounty button, he raised. The flop came queen high. I had queen jack. It went queen 10 7, and we got all the money in on the turn because the turn was a king. So now I have a pair and an open ender. Chris bet the turn, and he bet small. So I thought if I go all in, he might fold, but he did not fold. He had ace queen, so he had me outkicked. So I had queen jack, and the board was king queen 10 7. So I'm hoping to hit a 9 or an ace. I don't hit it, and I lose that. So I ended up losing about $4,000 on Wednesday. Tonight, Thursday, we had another game outside. I wasn't running that great. I also was going after it in the 2-3 game. But people were just making hands. So I lost a bit out there. And then I go to play on stream. I got pocket queens all in pre-flop. Pocket queens all in pre-flop versus 10-9 offsuit. Shout out Eddie T. Eddie T's really good at playing these connected cards. If you see him, turn over 7-8, 6-5, 10-9, suited or not suited, it doesn't matter. He knows how to play these hands all in pre-flop. So I actually was pretty worried. And sure enough, he hit a 10 on the first board. We ran it twice. He hit a 10 on the first board, and he rivered another 10. And then on the second board, he had a 9 on the flop, and the turn was a 9, and the river was also a 9. So my pocket queens just lost. So anyway, I rebuy again, and I flopped the nuts in a multi-way pot, and it's a big pot. It's probably like 300, I don't know how much, $300 or $400 in the pot. And I have about 1,500, 1,600. I flopped the nuts. I have 5, 6 of clubs, and it comes 3, 4, 7 with 2 hearts. I check, and Noah bets 200. It folds to me. I go all in. And Shane also calls or goes all in. I don't know. He had a big stack, so it didn't matter what he did if he went call or all in. But he's all in too. And Noah also is all in. So this was a cooler hand because I flopped, the straight. Shane had top set, pocket sevens. And Noah had queen 4 of hearts. So this time Noah flopped a pair and a flush draw. We ran it twice. And look, I had 5-6, all the money in 3 ways. Oh, they get a boat and a flush. And boat and a flush. I had 5-6. Pain. I don't know. I was aggressive in the 2-3 game, but I pretty much really ran bad in these big pots. And I lost with queens versus 10-9 offsuit in about almost a $2,000 pot. Same thing with ace queen versus ace 9 off in a $4,000 pot. And finally, that cooler when I flopped the nuts, and that pot was probably 5,000. So, I'll be back. Keep fighting. And thanks for watching.